I don't live my life very free at all.
One of my biggest needs was the need for community.
Though I wasn't thinking I was being used or being formed in some ways.
I knew that I wanted what I was doing to have meaning.
When I didn't believe in myself.
I just felt like it was all swirling around my head and I couldn't figure out how to rein that in.
Just life happened.
I needed tons of help and tons of reassurance.
I never really could grab hold of where I fit in that picture.
It scared you to death. I mean, it scares me to death still.
There was this nudging in my heart.
I needed a network of people just to encourage and support me in my calling.
It's painful, it hurts.
I wasn't quite sure what to do with myself or how I was going to accomplish this on my own.
I wanted my life to have purpose.
Beacon People is a community of people that are driven by purpose. It's our desire through Beacon People that you connect with community of other like-minded hearts and souls who are driven by the kingdom and to live for more. It's our desire to find richness and find deep satisfaction in life out of discovering our gifts and our calling and our purpose. We look at puzzle pieces of our strengths, our weaknesses, our life history, our passions, all the amazing ways that God uniquely designed us. And we wrap that in His calling. And we believe that as a result of that, you can live life intentionally day to day, believing that you might not have even seen your best days.
I've sewed for the public for many years, and then I've taken some time being a teacher, a mom, stay at home, just different seasons in life, different things. And I think that a couple of years ago, I had a kind of a urge, and I'm ready to make some adjustments in life. And during that time, I had a friend who just called and said, "Hey, I want to invite you to this thing called Beacon People." And it started making me really see where God had me, had placed me, where He had released me in things, and that was beautiful. Because probably some things that I thought were maybe negative or hard, and even some really great things, I started seeing just the connections and the purpose in it. I just started finding out the connections in life. I started seeing things that connected the past with the present. And that was what I was really like, wow, because how did that all happen? I didn't ever see that before. And I don't want to say that it was like, so yesterday I was like all dull. And then today I'm like, oh, I'm so enlightened and this is, I know exactly what I'm supposed to do in life. That's not what happened. I think I learned to, instead of expect a bomb to explode and just to be so, focused, just to listen to the Holy Spirit, just slowly and recognize what He was trying to tell me in creative ways. And every time that I would take that step, because it scared you to death. It scares me to death still. But every time I would take a step in faith where I knew, okay, Julie, you just got to do this, He would confirm it.
About 3 or 4 months ago, I found myself at the end of a pretty big refinement period with the opportunity to have a clean slate. And I really wanted to be purposeful with my time. And I just had a desire for something more. I did have the gift of being organized and task-minded, and that I could get things done. I didn't realize that that was a gift, that some people couldn't do that. So it really was very sweet to me to look back and see that my Creator did have a purpose for me, and that it was something that I was already doing and that I loved doing. It's hard to look back into those places that we purposefully have buried. But it was in those places that I saw that I may not have been using the gift the way the Lord intended me to, and so I had convinced myself it wasn't a gift. But it was really sweet to go back and see, no, it was. And there was a plan and a purpose. And so now I am walking aside someone that I love, and I love her ministry, and I'm so, my entire family has benefited from her willingness to share herself and what God is doing in her life. And I get to be her assistant. I get to make sure she gets where she's supposed to go. I get to make sure she's signed what she needs to sign, which may sound silly to someone else, but that to me is just life-giving, to be able to help someone do their job well.
I just felt like my life was this big swirling mess of passion, and just I felt like my whole life had, all the anger and all the hurts and everything I had been through had set me up for something really great. But I just felt like it was all swirling around my head, and I couldn't figure out how to rein that in. I knew I had so much passion and so much purpose to do something great for the Lord, so that he promised me continually that he would use everything that I had been through. So when I did Pathfinder, the whole journey was like Christmas every single day, because it was like all of this expectancy, all of this urgency, all of this passion, all of this, like on Christmas when you get so excited and you don't even really know why, but you wake up and it's Christmas. And it was like that every single day for me during Pathfinder. God specifically put that. He made me so specific, and he made me for such a purpose that he gave me all of that so that I could help other people, and that I could walk in their pain, and that I could live freely. He gave me the word gold feather, and I just literally sat down with my Bible, and he just said, you need to put these two words together. You find gold and you find feather, put it together. And gold is all throughout the Bible. It is the whole refinement process that we go through as Christians. We are refined. It's painful. It hurts. But when we come out on the other side, we are gold. And the feather is that we are constantly, as we go through this refinement process, we are constantly under the refuge of his wings.
One of my biggest needs was the need for community. Once I had a passion and had a calling, I had a need for community. And how I met that need was through Beacon People. I needed a group of women that was able to surround and encourage me on a couple of different levels. So I was having a good day, a bad day. They just encouraged me to just keep moving forward no matter what my day looked like. In a Beacon group, we meet together every other week, and we talk about our calling, what God has called us to. And my friends help me. Sometimes it's a big issue, sometimes it's a little issue, and we discuss what we can do to go to the next level. Sometimes we just encourage each other, just different things every different meeting. God uses Beacon Group just to meet a need and encourage me to move forward in my calling. One of the reasons I got involved in Beacon Group, I was new to the city, and I needed a network of people just to encourage and support me in my calling. And I found that in Beacon Group. I never understood how much you needed community just to move forward in your calling, because it takes a lot of courage and a lot of bravery. You cannot do it alone. You need tons and tons of help.
Well, 5 years ago, I found myself a widow raising 3 boys that were entering their teens, and I wasn't quite sure what to do with myself or how I was going to accomplish this on my own. And I had some things that I enjoyed. I'd always wanted to write. I'd been a high school English teacher. But focusing on raising my kids, I began to realize I needed a better way to pray for them. And through that began to pray scripture for my children. And I started writing weekly emails and sent those out to other moms and boys, so we could pray for our boys together. And that just grew. My email list grew and grew. And about that time, I ran into Pathfinder and found a way to sort of pull the pieces of my life, my interests, my needs, my gifts together through Pathfinder to write Fresh Faith, a college devotion for kids to learn to pray scripture for themselves as they go to college, and then to expand the weekly emails into a blog. It's been such a blessing to me to see how God had all these pieces in place. You've been given certain raw materials in your life, Anna, and you need to use them. And Pathfinder did all that for me.
So my entire life, I can remember as far back as when I was 3 or 4, having a love to create. As time went on, I had a love for homes and houses and design, and dabbled in it, but never really could grab hold of where I fit in that picture. And a special mentor and lady, she sat with me and talked with me and connected me with other women that helped teach me and show me that I really can go for this, and it's not something that has to be scary, and it's something that I can be grateful for. And they finally encouraged me to take small steps and grow in that way. And so one little step at a time, whether that was a friend entrusting this house and the design of this house to me, or helping pick out a paint color, or asking for advice with homes. Little steps at a time, I began to gain a little more confidence and speed, and finally thought, okay, God, like, these are skills and gifts that you have given me, and it would be wrong for me not to at least go for it. My community of friends have definitely given me more opportunities and more chances to create, more encouragement. When I didn't believe in myself, they really have believed in me and given me eyes to see myself as God sees me. If we walk alongside each other with encouragement, we offer so much more than just that. We really are changing the world together in a lot of ways.
I'm so thankful that God uniquely and purposefully made me.
And me.
And me. And me.
And me.
And me.
And me. And me.
You're here to be light, bringing out the God colors in the world. God is not a secret to be kept. We're going public with this, as public as a city on a hill. If I make you light bearers, you don't think I'm going to hide you under a bucket, do you? I'm putting you on a light stand. And now that I've put you there on a hilltop, on a light stand, shine. Keep open house. Be generous with your lives. By opening up to others, you'll prompt people to open up with God, this generous Father in heaven.